Happy full moon in Scorpio. So let's get right into it. Today, we have a full moon in Scorpio, and this is not a cozy full moon, babe. The moon is debilitated in Scorpio, meaning that the nurturing, stable qualities of the moon are challenged by the emotional undercurrents of Scorpio. Because Scorpio doesn't do surface level, Scorpio drags us into the depths where control, fear, desire, and vulnerability tend to tangle together. So let's see what this has in store for us. We have the Seven of Swords. Girl. So swords represent the element of air. Swords represent the intellect, our mind. And the Seven of Swords is the card of letting go. So this full moon reading is starting off just spicy right away. This card represents cutting your losses, taking only what you need and leaving the rest so that you may make a quick getaway. This card represents editing and ultimately removing what no longer serves you. This card represents moving in secret. I often equate this card to kind of like moving like Beyonce, like doing things in secret. And it asks you to protect yourself physically, mentally, and create some boundaries. Look out for deception. Search your own heart and wonder, are you being distracted by shiny objects, shiny people, shiny shine, things that ultimately won't satisfy you? And here we have the Ace of Wands. So Wands represents fire. Wands represents passion. It represents spark. And the Ace of Wands is that career calling card. This is a card of passion, obsession, excitement. This is the overwhelming desire and need to create and having a belief in yourself to act on your ideas and your inspiration. This is being filled to the brim with creative energy and being ready to begin a new and exciting project. So maybe we're letting go of imposter syndrome. Maybe we're letting go of that feeling of not being enough. Maybe we're letting go of the fear of being perceived. Whatever it is, the universe is speaking loud and clear. And this full moon, in addition to being in Scorpio, it's in the nakshatra of Jyeshta. A nakshatra is a lunar mansion. It's another, for lack of a better word, constellation that's recognized in India. And this is ruled by the king of the gods known as Indra. And this energy is intense, it's protective, it's status focused, and it's demanding of discernment. Not the tower, girl. The universe said, we said what we said. So the tower card represents removing what no longer belonged in the first place. The tower card represents purification. It represents clearing the way. And this is a moment of no return. This is purification that paves way for things in our life. This card asks us to clear away any negativity by burning away pride and ego to make way ultimately for ascension. This is the need for any old structures in your life to fall away to make room for the new. So again, how do you think about yourself? How do you think about other people? What's your relationship with whatever it is in your life, your mental health? How do you talk about your body? How do you talk about your finances? How do you talk about your career? How do you talk about yourself? Let go of the things that no longer serve you. The Eight of Swords represents going into a cocoon-like stasis. It represents honestly turning inwards. You can go into this meditative state so you can experience transformation. This card represents maybe feeling stuck, but only you have the answers. And the traditional card, the figure is wearing a blindfold, which is an act of initiation and transformation. So ultimately, you will be able to see something in your life with new eyes, with new perspective once the blindfold is removed. This card represents perhaps battling with yourself, perhaps being deceptive, self-deceptive. This card represents maybe feeling a bit powerless and maybe some self-inflicted suffering, which again, what is it that you need to let go? This card represents perhaps being blinded by your own lack of self-honesty. So think about it. Are you being honest with yourself? Are you really happy with the circumstances that are in your life? And this full moon, it asks the question, where are you still gripping out of fear? Where does power, not peace, motivate your choice? A card flipped out. The Knight of Swords. We are getting a lot of swords today. Oh my gosh. So the Knight of Swords represents this cunning, decisive, and intense energy. This card represents being slick talking, shaking things up, and unearthing long buried tensions. This represents tearing into your life to illuminate truths. And this represents speaking your mind unapologetically. So maybe this is involving someone in your life who maybe isn't really being, on it, so to speak. Maybe perhaps someone in your life who puts down your ideas, someone who isn't really motivated. It could be your boss, it could be a friend, hell, it could be your partner. Ultimately, I think it really comes down to ourselves and how we speak to ourselves, how we speak about ourselves. That is ultimately what this full moon is calling for. And the symbol of this nakshatra, Jyeshta, is an earring or a talisman that represents legacy, protection, and sacred authority. But in order for that sacred power to fully awaken, we have to release our false armor. This full moon is ideal for cutting energetic cords, purging emotional toxicity, and confronting the parts of yourself that are still operating from survival mode. Oh my God. So we got the Solitary Witch, feed yourself first. So I'm going to read from the booklet and then we'll get into it. So the companion card for this in tarot is Temperance. Keywords: heal yourself first. It begins with you. Believe in yourself. The Solitary Witch is not worried about what others are doing. She prefers to practice alone in the sacred space of her choosing, rather than relying on a coven to support her. She may meet with others occasionally, but ultimately, she knows her path is her own to walk in her own time. Many will call upon her for her gifts, which she is happy to share, but first and foremost is her own healing, for she knows she is of little use to anyone else without first supporting herself. Pulling Solitary Witch is a sign that you have overlooked yourself. You may need to spend more time in solitude, treat yourself to a rare experience, or spend more time developing your gifts before sharing them with others. Pulling this card can also signify that your healing work starts within. You may need to work on healing your ancestral lines, or you're being called to develop a better relationship with your spirit guides. What else is there to say? You have to take care of yourself first. It's like when you're flying and the little announcement message says to put your life jacket on first, because how can you be of service to other people if you're flying around the cabin? How can you ultimately help out your loved ones? How can you be of support for other people? How can you be in support of yourself if you're working from a place of scarcity, fear, and depletion? We have to rest and we have to take care of ourselves. And yes, this is intense, but it's also clarifying. Trust what is coming up, even if it's messy. It's like when you're cleaning out your closet or cleaning your room, things get chaotic before they get better. And here we have the wolf and the rose hip, which represents guardianship. And again, I will read from the little booklet and then we shall get into it. The wolf travels in a pack, protecting its family and community. Like the hound, the wolf signifies loyalty and commitment. Relatedly, the rose tip is a source of food, but also a symbol of love, as it is the berry produced by the rose plant. Its combined associations with nourishment and affection make it an emblem of familial love and care. You are called to be a mentor. Who among your pack might need counsel? Taking a leadership role in community activism is another way to lead like the wolf. So the universe is letting you know that once you develop the tools, once you heal yourself in the Solitary Witch, you will be able to be in service of others. You will be able to be a lightning rod. You'll be able to be a guiding light for others to see, look at how that person healed themselves. Look at how they're operating. Look at how they're moving. Think about people who you find inspiring, whether it be an author, a singer, a creative, anyone. That person most likely has had to go on a healing journey or is going through a healing journey in order to get to a place where they can be an inspiration, a source of guidance, and a mentor to others. Oh my gosh, I love this card. Y'all know how I feel about snakes. So here we have the snake and the fern, which represents starting over. The snake and the fern calls us to start anew, regularly shedding its skin. The snake is a symbol of rebirth and transformative healing. And in many cultures, the fern is associated with new life and new beginnings. To the Maori of New Zealand, an image of an unfurling silver fern frond, or kuru, apologies if I'm mispronouncing that, is a central motif indicating growth and the return to one's origins. Together, the snake and the fern inspire confidence as we start over or embark along a new path. A rebirth is imminent. Summon the magical protection of the fern and wriggle free of old trappings. And my loves, my cafe coven, this is the perfect time to start over. In just a week's time, we're going to be entering into summer, a new season already, which is bonkers, bananas, crazy. How do we end up in a new season? Personally, I like to treat the calendar year as if it's like a quarterly thing to achieve. So I have my winter quarter, we are currently in spring quarter, and then soon we will enter summer quarter. And think to yourself, what goals do you want to set for yourself for summer? Maybe a personal goal, like going to bed at a certain hour, maybe a health goal, maybe it's how you walk, how you eat, how you move your body, what you put in your body, what you put on your body. Maybe a mental health goal. How can you start over? Maybe a project you're working on in your relationship and how you treat yourself and how you talk to yourself. How can you begin again? The thief, seizing the moment and selfishness. I think the universe wants you to be selfish and to choose things for yourself, especially if you are a parent, if you are a caregiver in some capacity, if you were always there for other people, if you were a mom, dad, parent, whatever hat that it is, you need to start choosing you. Maybe that's what you need to let go of. Maybe that's how you need to start over. Because oftentimes, if we are in caregiver positions, we overlook ourselves for the sake of being there for our loved ones. So some key words with the thief: seizing the moment and selfishness, a crash of pottery, the sound of angry voices, someone laughs, another curses. You're so distracted looking to see what's going on that you don't realize your pockets are suddenly empty. The thief takes what they want when they want. It started off as a necessity, but now it's an addiction, a need to take greater risks, to seek bigger marks. One day, they'll run out of luck, but it's the thrill that keeps them going in the meantime. It may seem a selfish way to live, but the thief makes their own destiny, and so do you. Grab that opportunity the next time it arises. Don't let should or could stop you from gaining fulfillment. Life is short, and sometimes you need to put yourself first. This is exactly what I was saying, my loves. Seize the moment. Take what is yours. The next time you see that job opportunity or that person who you want to ask out on a date or whatever it is, just do it. Because guess what? The worst case scenario, you'll be in the exact position that you started out in, but at least you tried. I think I heard Beyonce say something that, yeah, she's like the most Grammy awarded winning person, but she also has lost so many Grammy nominations. Put yourself out there, take a risk, apply for that job. Oh well, and listen, I am not a fan of the morals of J.K. Rowling, but she was denied by 12 different publishers before someone decided to publish Harry Potter. Yeah. The Hound, loyalty, chains, and promises. The Hound paces, awaiting orders. In swearing their loyalty to another, they have learned their place in the world and what is most important to them, but they have also lost their freedom. The Hound's devotion comes from a deep love, blinding them to a life beyond the person they were sworn to. They have found security in knowing where their next meal comes from, but some part of them still yearns for the wild. Promises are not made lightly, and you may be starting to realize that an agreement you made has come with more restrictions than you thought. Keeping your word is important, but don't let yourself be taken advantage of. It's not too late to decide that a relationship, agreement, or situation no longer benefits you. Don't hold on to ties out of misguided sense of loyalty or lost time. Sometimes the best path of action is to break free and start again. Part of my brain wanted to sing "We're Breaking Free" from High School Musical, but listen, start over, begin again. Use this Knight of Swords energy to maybe have a tough conversation, ask for a raise, maybe let your boss know that you're going to take some time off if you're able to. Maybe tell your partner that it's time for you to break free of whatever these ties or these bonds are that you had with them. Maybe it's time for you to begin again, start over. Let your responsibilities, whatever is holding you back from doing what you want to do, maybe it's a friendship group, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a partner, maybe it's a career. It's time for you to realize that you can change your mind. You can make other decisions. You can choose what is best for you. And here we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card that represents messages are coming your way. Messages of intensity, messages from perhaps a job interview that you're waiting to hear back from, maybe a text message or a DM from that person who you asked out on a date, but there are messages coming your way. So double check that your phone is not on Do Not Disturb, double check that you don't have a spam blocker on, double check your spam folder. Messages are on the way. And here we have the Seven of Pentacles. So Pentacles represents finite things such as time, money. It's the element of earth. And the Seven of Pentacles is a card that represents taking stock and assessment and reevaluating your circumstances. So you look at what you have in front of you and you ask yourself, where do I go from here? This card shows you that it's time to reflect, reevaluate, and re-examine what you have because there's more to come. This card asks you to prepare and assess. So learn from past accomplishments before embarking on a new path. Evaluate your circumstances with a calm mind and keep up your hard work. So, for example, if you are a writer, before you start writing a new chapter, maybe look at what you have written, look at that character sheet, look at the chapters that you have, see what progress you've done so that you could take that and use it to go forward. Look at, okay, that didn't work out, so let me do this instead. Or you know what, when I tried it this way, it worked out better. So look at the things that you have and reassess from there. So my loves, this is the spread that I've gotten so far for us for this full moon. First of all, thank you for being here. Please remember to subscribe, like the channel, comment, etc. If you've made it this far, please drop a little snake emoji in the comment section to let me and others know that you've made it here. And if you want even more, head on over to patreon.com/thebaristawitch because I'm going to clear this spread and get a little bit deeper into the meanings and tie into also some of the current transits that we're going through. There is also a PDF guide that has a breakdown of what this full moon in Scorpio means and a little spell sheet as well with some ingredients and some affirmations of things that you can do for this full moon. So thank you so much. I love you and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.